Good evening, Sanilac County. Last night's Sandusky School Board meeting was slated to bring up once again the issue of the school mascot. It was a very contentious meeting. I really wish that the headline of this story read more like, "School Board meeting ends with neighbors forgiving each other and agreeing this isn't worth fighting over any longer," but sadly this was not the case. I witnessed fringe elements of either side behaving rather poorly, and that's not good. That's bad. These kids have already seen enough poor behavior. The only way to salvage this is to show them how adults can forgive one another and move past this issue in a mature manner. Is this going to happen? Probably not, but Christmas would definitely come early this year if you could surprise me, reconcile your differences, and move beyond the petty exchanges that we all saw. And I gotta be honest here. I looked at this packed cafeteria full of people and wondered, why can't this many people come to the Sandusky City Council to ask Dave Faber why he stole taxpayer dollars to pay the utilities at the homeless shelter he operates? A little girl gets grabbed because the shelter is being run for profit, and most of you guys are nowhere to be seen. Isn't that at least as important as a high school mascot? Let me give you a little perspective here so that you might appreciate how good you really have it. Over in Deckerville, we don't even know if we're going to have a school in the next 5 to 10 years. Class sizes are down to maybe 20 some odd kids. That's for the entire class. What a luxury it must be to have nothing better to argue about than what your mascot is. And this topic is what fills up school board meetings to capacity. Wouldn't it be something if that many people showed up expressing concerns over literacy rates? And then you've got the furries lady. Does anyone actually come to school dressed as a furry? Don't answer that. I don't care. If there's anyone in the crowd that I can personally identify with, though, it's the taxpayers. I care considerably more about the taxpayers than I care about what picture is on your kid's jersey. Let me tell you what. It's one thing to change the mascot and have George Soros pay for it. How much more money would it cost to change it back to the Redskins? There's got to be a better use of the taxpayer's dollar. If your primary concerns in this matter are how much it's costing the district, I think you're the ones hitting the nail on the head. But unfortunately, the financial toll in this matter is nothing compared to the personal toll. You guys really need to stop fighting. That's how they want us, fighting amongst ourselves. And who are they? You know who they are. So if you're upset about how the previous administration handled the transition to the Wolves, I get it. It was super underhanded. But the voters successfully removed 3 people from power. As far as this matter is concerned, that's going to have to be your trophy. That's what you win. I know it's weird, and I know from researching this that George Soros is dumping money into these Native American groups. I get it. It's super weird. But let the political exile of Jason Trepowski, Daniel Gerstenberger, and Jane Jacobson serve as a warning to all those political opportunists out there. If you fail to represent and listen to the voice of the public, you are going to get tossed to the curb. And if you thought that the Redskins mascot was racist, well, the mascot's now the Wolves. Congratulations. I should point out, though, that the Native Americans were not the only population that our ancestors drove from their homes and slaughtered. Who else did they do this to? The wolves! They did it to the wolves. You know what? Our ancestors pretty much killed everything they didn't want around their children. They did this because they wanted their families kept safe. Our super great grandparents loved their children, and I know if we could meet them, they would love us too. Hopefully this gives you a little better perspective on our nation's bloody history. Parents, at this point all you really have here is a teachable moment for your children. You now have the ability to show them what it looks like when the adults who fought over an issue are capable of forgiving each other and going back to being friends and neighbors. I strongly encourage you all to do this. Trust me, guys, it feels so good just to let this crap go. Like, do yourselves a favor. Do your soul a favor. Now, to move on from the divisiveness, what I immediately noticed at the meeting was the presence of a WNEM news team. I'm always going to be skeptical of corporate journalists for obvious reasons.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
But I especially don't like it when they come into our community and misrepresent us to the rest of the world. So after the meeting concluded, I approached them to ask what they found so newsworthy about this story.
Hey, did you guys drive a long way to get out here?
About an hour.
An hour from like...
Saginaw.
Okay. Hey.
And I would appreciate it if you don't have me in whatever you post online.
Why wouldn't you want me?
Because I would appreciate it if you didn't have me on whatever you post online.
Why would you not want me to include you?
I just asked you.
But why would you?
I'm asking you very nicely. Please do not include me in whatever it is that
Why
you're
do you find
online.
this story newsworthy? Why do you find this story newsworthy?
I'm just asking, please do not post me on whatever you put online. Thank you.
You guys find this...
Right now, stop recording me.
Why?
I asked you very nicely, stop recording me.
She already asked you to stop.
I've asked you multiple times to stop recording me. Stop recording me.
Why?
Because she asked.
But I asked you
This is a
nicely,
public
stop
forum.
recording.
This is a
That
public
perfectly
forum.
fine. But when somebody says stop recording, then stop.
Now keep in mind, the reporter, Raven Blue of WNEM, just got done pointing cameras at everyone in this room and asking people questions on cameras. Isn't this kind of a big freakout for someone who just got done doing the exact same thing to other people?
Well, I understand he can record all he wants to, but when I ask to stop recording me, please stop recording me.
I don't have to stop recording anyone.
He can.
I can do this all
He can
day.
record whatever he wants.
I can't.
If somebody else says not to record, then
Come on down.
please stop
Isn't this
recording.
weird? Isn't this weird? This is so weird. No, I'm asking questions. That's fine. I don't get this at all. All I asked her is, why do they find this story so newsworthy, sir? And they're having this freak out. They're having this. I don't understand it at all.
Everyone has a right to record.
Oh, for sure.
They
Yeah.
have a right to record, but when somebody says
If
stop
you guys
recording,
don't want to be recorded, no, I understand that. If you guys don't want to be recorded, we can get you to a private space. But in public, it is legal to record in public. There's no expectation of privacy.
Now, I'm not sure what's passing for civics classes these days, but here is another teachable moment for the kids of Sanilac County. When people are on public property, they are fair game to be filmed and recorded. The only exception is inside of a courtroom. For some reason, Raven Blue didn't think this applied to her and demonstrated the same allergy to answering questions that Sandusky City Manager Dave Faber exhibits. Again, I would ask you if this is normal behavior from someone who just got done filming a room full of people. This woman is a broadcast journalist. Her face is all over the internet. I will point out that it appears that Raven Blue had been speaking with students before the meeting and has likely been kept in the loop as to when to attend these meetings. You can see the way the students coalesce around her and attempt to prevent her from being asked my one and only question. She goes on to ask the superintendent to provide her with a private room in a public school where she can interview the kids at the meeting who express support for the mascot remaining the Wolves.
Kurt Dennis, superintendent.
Okay, nice to meet
You
you.
look I've seen you around, but I don't know who you are.
Bretton Jones, Sanilac Flashlight.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I'm just curious. The reporter from WNEM is down here in a cordoned off area right now.
No, just a different area.
I could walk in there myself right now.
I would say in theory this is a public building open right now.
Sure.
Now, they are requesting, they would like to do some interviews without you present, and I think it's a reasonable request, but I will say, your First Amendment rights, certainly in a public area, there is no privacy expectation, I would agree.
I can tell that you took an oath to the Constitution that you meant,
Well,
sir.
I do tend to believe in the Constitution.
I appreciate that. So I noticed that WNEM reporter just went off with a bunch of kids that are all in the affirmative Keep It the Wolves camp. Would you agree with that?
I don't know if they believe that, but I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying I can't speak for all the kids if they believe the wolf or not.
Okay,
But
okay.
It could be true, for
But
sure.
the kids that they're interviewing down there right now, some of them spoke earlier in an affirmation of keeping it the Wolves. Is that correct?
I think so. I think
Okay.
so. I can't speak to every single student,
Yeah.
but I think you're right on that.
This is my take on this, is I think it's really weird that WNEM drove an hour and a half to come out here and cover this issue in the middle of podunk nowhere, sir. This is very strange. It's
Well, you know, like anything else with newspapers or TV, they got to sell either airtime or paper, right?
This is weird, though. I put this into the weird category.
I can't classify that. I suppose they thought it was newsworthy. Maybe I don't know what they were thinking in terms of what they thought was going to happen tonight.
It seems as if they coordinated ahead of time with these people. Like they seem like they're doing an advocacy sort of role instead of just a non-biased.
That I don't know.
Okay.
I can't. I can tell you this. If you're asking, hey, did the school call TV5? The answer is no.
No, I'm sure they didn't.
They showed up and they're welcome to be here. You're welcome to be here. You know, it's unfortunate. I'm new to the game. As
Okay.
you probably know.
Yes, sir.
I've been here a year. I think it's unfortunate. This is a great community.
Oh, for sure.
It's unfortunate that something like this kind of tore apart a lot of it. You know, I've talked to people that say they don't talk to certain family members, they don't talk to friends anymore, and that's sad. And I think really all of this is we're just trying to bring a great community back together and move forward. And not everyone's unfortunately going to be happy. And the hope is we can get everybody, at least somewhat on board, and maybe sometimes everybody feels like they win a little and lose a little, and we can compromise and move on.
Man, I'll be honest. I talk to public officials that are not as forthcoming and honest and personable as you, and I just want to give you an award in the form of a handshake, sir.
Well, hey, I appreciate you coming out and having an interest in us.
Oh, no, for sure. It's just...
You come every month to the boards?
Nope. Only when enough people say, hey, come to this thing. You know, that's about it. But I appreciate you, sir.
All right. No, thank you. I appreciate you.
Have a good night.
I'm going to finish this by stating that I hope I never have to cover this issue again. I hope that you can all learn to get along and just roll with what we've been handed. Sandusky's a good school district. I think you should all be thankful for this and focus on the academic experience of your students. That would be a blessing for everyone. Thank you for watching, and best of luck to everyone, regardless of how you felt about this issue. Feel free to subscribe to the Sanilac Flashlight on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. I don't make any money doing this. I only do this because I want us all to live in a county free from political corruption and safe for our children. Take care, and next time I see you, we smoke 'em peace pipe, Pilgrim. I'll leave you with the words of Rodney King. Good night, everyone.
I just want to say, you know, can we all get along? Can we get along? Can we stop making it horrible for the older people and the kids?